ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
Shriman Venkatanatarya Kavita Kikaskeshari Vedantacharya Varyo Me Sannidhatam Sada Hridi Ramanujadaya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathāryam Vande Vedanta Deshikam Shrironratupul Tiruvenkatamudayan Paronrachonna Palamodiyul Orunratane Yamayato Taranil Valvarka Tanirappo Malavum Balva.
Now, in the first title, Tattva Ratnavali Pratipadya Sangraha, spelling mistake is very prominent. Sangaraham. Sangaraham is in Tamil. Sangaraham. Tamil. Sangaraham. So it is, the ka will have a dot over that. Sangraham. Yes. That is it. That is it. When the printing mistake, we say, we say in Sanskrit, Mudra Rakshasaha. Mudra Rakshasam is the name of a drama, but Mudra meaning printing generally, seal. Rakshasa is the name of the minister in the drama, but still we say just for joke, Mudra Rakshasa, printing mistake. Drama by Nagbhana, the very spelling that you wrote is is wrong. There is no one like BHANE, it is BANA. And again, Bana was a prose writer, and this was written by Vishaka Datta, by name a person called Vishaka Datta. Vishaka Datta wrote only one drama, fortunately. So Mudra Rakshasa is a drama, the first drama with what we call no love sentiment. No love sentiment, no Shringara Rasa is there. That is the first drama with no, because Shringara will be there in some form or other in old dramas. But there is not a single female character. That is also a beauty of this Udara Rakshasa. Chanakya's contrivance. It's called the political cheating or say strategy. So let us have intrigue. Yeah. Intrigue is a discussion, but political maneuver. Okay, so let us have. I hope, certain information like this when we discuss, I think can be edited and removed from this Tattva Ratnavali Pratipadya Sangraha explanation, right? I don't know. So I think we may not include this discussion. Yes. No, finding fault with the book, print of the book, and then talking about mistakes. Okay. So Munnurai, the introduction, it's called in English the special word from my father's teaching, Proem, P-R-O-E-M. Many mistake it as poem, P-O-E-M. It's not poem, it is proem, P-R-O-E-M, introduction. So Tattva Ratnavali is already, as said in the previous session, it's a concise form of all the secrets. So this secret is the abridged one. So what is there here? So we are discussing about the Tamil verse called Vanmai Yuhanda. So the word Vanmai Yuhanda is a Tamil word where this verse has been found in the previous secret, Tattva Ratnavali Ragasyam. Then at the end of this Tamil verse, you have Narayanan Paran. You have another verse starting with the word Narayanan Paran. So these two verses are being explained here. இந்த பாசுரங்கள் இரண்டும் சேத்தனர்கள் உஜ்ஜீவிப்பதற்காக ஆச்சாரியன் எடுத்துக்கொண்ட பெருமுயற்சி பயனளித்ததை கூறுகின்றன. So why these two in the previous Tattvaratnavali Ragasyam? Because these two were written by the author himself, namely the preceptor, Sri Vedanta Deshika. So these two are meant to be understood by the what we call Chetanas, namely the sentient beings, namely the individual souls, Jivatmas, in order to get redemption from the, or what you call freedom from the cycle of birth and death and reaching the right destination. So the efforts of the preceptor have borne fruit. That is the purpose for which these two verses are found in the previous secret. Now, so the first verse occurs before the 30 points of the previous secret, and the Narayanan Parana occurs in the last portion of the Tattva Ratnavali Ragasyam after the 30 points. We know that each 10 points were devoted to the three subjects, namely Chetanam, Achetanam, and Ishvara. Now, so in between these two Tamil Pashuram meaning verse. So there are 30 points. Then, so the final statement, that's called a Nigamana Vakyam. Nigamanam is Sanskrit word. Vakyam also Sanskrit. So it is given in Tamil. Nigamana Vakyam, so that means a conclusive statement by the preceptor is to encourage, rather console the individual soul, Chetanam. Why? Because already we said in the last part of this Tattva Ratnavali Ragasyam that whether we understood clearly all the 30 points completely or not. So let us not think low of ourselves. Whatever understanding that we had from these 30 points, at least one or two or more, it is enough for our journey towards the destination. So we have placed one step further, that's all. So without ignorance, we have gained some knowledge, very little knowledge if you say, even if you say very little knowledge, even zero or minus, it leads us to the right path. So this is the encouragement given by the preceptor in the last portion of Tattva Ratnavali Ragasyam. And therefore, Nigamana Vakyam, the final statement, which means what we call judgment, we can say. Chetane Tetrodahum, it consoles the individual soul, that is sentient being. Naduvil ulla 30 வாக்கியங்களுள், so there are 30 sentences in between. So first 10 referred to the Chetanam, second 10 refers to Achetanam, and third 10 refers to Ishvara. That is there already known. Now, this is compared to a parallel like playing a game of some coins. We call it shori. Shori, I don't know, I think the a special name for in English. It's like a shell. It's actually a seashell, a small one, a smaller one. So shori it is called, so seashell. And we have a particular type of wooden. It is not chauri. It is seashell. 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 It's insects. Uh, I don't know. It's a new. If you mean COWRIE, I don't. Chauri is a shell. Okay. Okay. I mistook it as THO. Okay. Right. So there is a wooden structure which has got the dents, pallar. That's called the pallanguri. You can get it from the net. What is pallanguri? The wood normally made up of wood. So there are a lot of we have a lot of games. There are different very interesting games with what we call a particular number of seashells, the chauri, as you said. Now, when we win, we are happy. When we win others, there can be a maximum of 4 people playing a game. 2 will be better. Four can, I think, may be maximum. Because we have 4 corners of the wooden structure. And the game is to be very fast. Our fingers must be deft and so on. And therefore, in the same way, our intellect should be alert to understand these 30 sentences. And as we win, we feel happy. If we understand, we will be happy. In the sense, we are reaching the destination earlier. So now we go to the next one. So Tattva Mudar Kaviyalum, so by the first verse in the beginning of Tattva Mudivil Kaviyalum, by the verse at the end, Acharyan Pandina Krishi, the effort done by Krishi means effort. Then Krishi also refers to particularly what you call plowing the field for growing the crops. Krishi. That's why Lord is called Krishna. He is also a farmer. He is also a peasant. He mows, M-O-W-S. Normally you say mows the grass. So you can say he removes the ignorance. Ignorance is in the form of grass in our intellect. So he mows the grass. He removes the grass. He removes the ignorance. And then he rather takes off the weeds, as we say. WEEDS. He removes the weeds, unnecessary plants which are useless. And then when the paddy or even wheat or sown, wheat seeds are sown, anything, for example, banana also. Any plant when you want to grow, the weed must be removed from the field so that no unnecessary plant grows and spoils our aim. So the preceptor has done this agricultural work. Namely, he has removed weeds from our intellect. That means he removed our ignorance from our intellect. Then palittabadi, it is bearing fruits. So Tattva by reading and by understanding the first and the last verse, and plus some points at least in the 30 sentences, we have what you call fruit in hand, fruit at hand. So நடுவுள்ள வாக்கியங்களாலே, so you see the 30 sentences. So ஒவ்வொரு குழி முதலாக எட்டுக்குழி விளந்தபடியை சொல்லுகிறது. Now, while we start reading the first sentence to the eighth sentence, eighth sentence, we have to remember the Ashtakshara mantra. That's what I think I understand. So every sentence is giving rise to every syllable in the Ashtakshara mantra. And you can take it as even the first 10 sentences. First 10 sentences which talk about Chetana, the sentient being. We understand there are 8 syllables forming out of this. So that means again, so please understand that corresponding to these three tens, there are three tens, TENS, 3 tens. And these 3 tens correspond to the 3 Ragasyas, or 3 Tattvas, as we say initially, Chetanam, Achetanam, and Ishvara. Whereas it can also be corresponding to Ashtakshara, Dvaya, and Charamashloka. This is how we must transfer our what we call ideas. So இதில் ஜீவ விஷயமான 10 வாக்கியத்திலே, so whatever has been understood in these first 10, so what do we understand? Jivanuடைய லட்சணமும். So we understand the definition of a Jivatma, individual soul. இவனுடைய சேஷத்துவ பிரகாரமும். So the second point that we understand is slavishness, slavery, subservience, we are servitude of the individual soul. Then next page. Third, Paratantriya Prakaramum. How are we dependent? The third point is how are we dependent? So while you remember the Namo Narayanaya, the Ashtakshara mantra, because we are referring to Ettu Kuri in the previous page. Ettu Kuri meaning 10 dents, 8 dents. Pallam, Tamil na Pallam. So Kuri na Pallam. You can say, I think, Darth. Okay, D-A-R-T-H. There is one word which means a place to fill up things. So Paratantriya Prakaram. So we understand our dependence. Not only we feel we must be servants, we must obey the Lord. And because why do we obey the Lord? Because we are dependent. We are not independent. Then fourth point that we must understand, what is the advantage of being a servant? Sheshatva upayogam. Why should we be a servant? The question arises, and therefore there is an advantage of being a servant. Then fifth one, why should we be again dependent? Why not we be independent? Again, say being a dependent, we have some advantage. Upayogam, Paratantri Upayogam. Then six, now combined together, our servitude, that is, you can say service, our service status, plus dependence. So both combined together, Ubhaya Siddhamana, both will give rise to Uchita Upayoga Vishesham. There will be a right usage, there will be right advantage, and that will be unique Vishesham. The particular is what you call extraordinary usage of the combination of these two, namely the dependence and the service. Then, so 7. So we understand that basically as Jivatma, we are full of knowledge. And when we become fully knowledgeable, that is wise, that means we have realized the Lord, realized the understanding of the Lord. Then Jnanadi Sahita Upayogam. How does knowledge helps us to seek the advantage? Then 8. So adheyatva vidheyatva sahita ubhaya phalam. So when he is our basis, support, and we are supported, so adheyatva vidheyatva. We are under his control, vidheyatva. Adheyatva is he is the base. He gives a lot of encouragement. So what is the combined use of these two? As because he is our support, total support. We have no other support, that's the meaning. And we are servants to him. We are servants to nobody else. So these two, how do they help us? So that we will understand while we understand the principle of Ashtakshara and so on. 9. Ukta prakarangalale. All these 8 points must be remembered. In the process of these already said points, Shankita Anityatwadi Pariharam. Let us dismiss the doubt, apprehension. We must be clear in this, namely, we must never say that all are impermanent. If you say neither the individual soul, nor the supreme soul, nor Achetanam, nor the point that we saw in 8 sentences are impermanent. They are not impermanent. They are all permanent. So we must avoid thinking that these are all impermanent. Anityatwadi pariharamam. So we must not allow the doubt to enter into our mind at any time that everything is unreal, you can say, unreal. So we must always feel that everything is real. So because we saw that we have no death. Then number 10, so you find that all objects, whether original like Paramatma or created like Leela Vibhuti or Sarva Dravya Sadharana Swarupa Nityatvam. The original nature is always permanent. It is common. Sadharana is not ordinary, as we say in Tamil. Sadharana is common. So it is common quality is same, and they are ever existing, everlasting. All objects have common qualities and original nature unchanged. So these 10 must be understood like this. Endru ivai pattum pratipadyam. So the abridged Tattva Ratnavali, this particular ragasya, Sangraha, Sampadya Sangraha, right? So that is that explains in a nutshell, in very short term, this. Then Achetana Vishayamana Pattvakyatil, Achenathanuடைய லட்சணமும், the same process is followed. So we understand the definition of an insentient being, that is original nature of an insentient being. Then we understand that there is no separate existence for Achetanam. Pratyaktva, separate existence is not there. It cannot remain alone. Achetanam cannot remain alone. In the sense, Antaryami is there, Lord. Lord is there as Antaryami. So without Antaryami, made into sutras. Yeah, small sentences in Tamil and Manipravadam. So Bhoktrutva Abhavam, it has no right to enjoy anything. Bhokta is only one Bhokta, that is Lord Sriman Narayana. Therefore, non-existence of separate existence and enjoyment. So that is second point. Then Buddhi Purva Kartrutva Bhavamu. Because the Achetana insentient being has no thinking capacity, therefore there is no intellect associated with Achetanam. Therefore, there is no what we call action associated with the insentient object. So kartritva bhavam. There is nothing called doership. There is nothing called doership. Then 4. Achetana dravyangalil, in the objects of insentient object, த்ரிகுணத்துக்கு கர்மவசரை பற்ற உண்டான பிராதிகூல்யாதி பிரகாரமும். So while we talk about 3 qualities, sattva, rajas and tamas, these sattva, rajas, tamas influence the individual soul's chetanam for their actions. So this achetanam will not go against the working of the qualities on the individual souls. So pratikulyadi prakaram. So another shade of meaning is also there. So the achetana dravya may give rise to unnecessary action against the individual souls based on the 3 qualities. It can happen also. Then 5. So akarma vashari patra idanudi anukulya atishayam. The insentient objects are helpful to those who are not bound by actions. Meaning, released souls, muktas. The insentient objects have no role in influencing the realized souls. They are called akarma vashya. That means they have no action to be performed. Anukulya atishayam. If at all they have association, they are chetanam, so it will be helpful only. The insentient object will be helpful to only those realized souls, and it will never antagonize the released souls. Then pratikulya shanka pariharamu. 6th point, by understanding the insentient object, how do we understand, how do we dismiss the doubt that it will be against the souls? So that is the point to be understood. Then 7, Paramapadatrude bhogyata atishayam. So we must understand that extraordinary, unique quality of the Lord's Lord being enjoyed. Bhogyata. Now we will restrict to our previous principle, namely, Lord enjoys. No individual soul, no achetanam enjoys. Let us understand this point, and therefore remember this. And then Lord himself feels very wonderful. He has a wonderful feeling on the creation of both chetanam and achetanam. That's what you can understand here. So he is very happy. He enjoys. He is joyful. He has eclat, ECLAT, on Leela Vibhuti, on creation of these individual souls and insentient objects, sentient objects also. Whereas again, when I say creation, creation doesn't happen newly. It's only a repetition of the created objects dissolved. But it takes new names, that's all. Then what is the influence of the time here? So 8 is the influence of time over achetanam. So time can change the process. And then dharma bhuta jnanatin prakaram. So we understand the basic nature, that is our knowledge of the basic nature of the achetanam. So dharma bhuta jnanam. Dharma is here quality. Dharma is quality. Dharma bhuta jnanam. I am not very much clear, 100% clear about the word dharma bhuta jnanam, but still I am trying to explain out of ignorance. So what is the process of our understanding of Chetana? What is the essential nature of the insentient object? Then lastly, we understand the Achetanam is categorized as Anatma. So that we already understood. So all sentient objects, namely four we mentioned, four categories. Baddha, the chained souls, that is individual souls in this world, in this Lila Vibhuti, the created one. Then Muktatma, the released souls in Vaikuntham. Then Nityasuri, the third category. Fourth is Ishvara. All these are all called in one name, Atma, and Achetanam is called Anatma. So that these 10 have been explained. Pratipadyam. Pratipadyam is to be explained. Then what is Paratattva? What is Ishvara? Again, definition of Ishvara. So we must know the original nature of the Ishvara. Then ಇವನುடைய ನಿರಂಕುಶ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯಾದಿಗಳು. We must know his independence, swatantriyam. Yes, he can do whatever he likes. He has his own will. We can never stop him. We can never obstruct his activities. We cannot object to his activities because he has no controller. Nirankushaha. He has no goad. He is like an elephant, and he is like an uncontrollable elephant without goad. G-O-A-D. Ankush. No teller, no asker, we say in English. No asker, no teller. Nobody can instruct, advise the Lord. Third one, Upadana Karanatva Prakaram. We already saw it in detail in the previous Ragasya. Namely, he is the basic cause, fundamental cause, Upadana Karanatva. Like the materials required for pot making. Then he is also Nimitta Karanatva. He is also the impending cause, other working cause. Nimitta Karanatva. Why he is called the efficient cause. Yeah. English words cannot make us understand very clearly. Whereas we can have some understanding. Then Nimitta Karanatva Prakaramam, so it's efficient cause, meaning resultant cause. Then Antarvyapti Swarupamam, his original nature is inside the object and outside the object. Antarvyapti. He is there inside every object, that is both Chetanam and Achetanam, and he is also outside the object. Then so his nature. Then so Antarvyapi is inside. So Bahirvyapti, sixth point, Bahirvyapti Niyamamu, his will to remain outside also. Then Sarva Prakara Paramyamu, his greatness is established one. So nobody can dispute his greatness. That's the meaning Sarva Prakara Paramyamu. His greatness, the highest position, status, cannot be discussed, cannot be disproved, cannot be objected to. So Sarva Prakara Paramyamu. And all the processes, Sarva Prakara meaning all processes. All processes, creation, sustenance, dissolution, name of the objects or individual souls. Nama Rupe Karavani is the Veda Vakya. He wills that Nama Rupe Karavani. I will give them the figure, form, and name. Nama Rupe Karavani. Let me give them the name and form. That's Veda Vakyam. Therefore, Sarva Prakara Param. Then Saulabhya Vishesha. Of course, the best quality in the Lord is accessibility. So extraordinary accessibility. Though because seventh point is against the eighth point. Namely, he is the highest, but he will move socially with the lowest. So So Saulabhya Vishesham. Then you have the couple, namely 9 and 10. Siddhopayatumam, Siddhaprayatkatumam. Already these two have been explained in the previous, namely, he is the available successful means. He is never unsuccessful means. One cannot dismiss saying that he is useless. He is a useless methodology. He is a useless road, path to destination. So we have to understand him that he is most useful, readily available. Siddha is readily available. Siddha Upayatum. He is readily available as a helper. Then Siddha Prapyatumam. Again, he can be reached. There is no doubt that he cannot be reached. So Siddha Prapyatum. Again, he is he can be successfully reached. Therefore, these last 10 sentences about Ishvara also should be understood. Nigamana Vakyatil. So in the final statement, இவ்வளவு தெளிவு கொண்டும் ஈடேறலாம் என்று சேத்தனரை தேற்றுகிறது. The same sentence is repeated. All individual souls are encouraged, consoled, because all of us will have what we call disgust and also what we call dejection. Why dejection and why disgust? Because we make a lot of efforts and the failure is facing us prominently and success is not seen nearby. All of us, no exception. So success is not seen at hand. Even a small amount of success is not seen at hand. In my personal life, smallest silly matters also are failures. You will be laughing at it when I say this certain context, because I don't want to expose my failures. The failures face me often, rather successes. And successes, we have met with the successes, no doubt. No doubt we have met with successes. But these successes, what you call materialistic successes, the achievements that we have made in this world, as we call them achievements, are not useful to the final purpose of reaching the Lord. And therefore, we say we don't want, even we should not enjoy the literature in Sanskrit. Kavya lapo varjayet, we say. Don't discuss on the literary works of Sanskrit because they lead us nowhere. Then what should we study? Only Bhagavad Shastra. Only text which tell us about Lord. So nothing else. So even if it is a kavyam, even if it is a story of Krishna, Rama, so we have to go deep into the principles of the story and not look at the story. As a child, we will be interested in understanding the story of the Lord in his incarnations especially. But we must look at the underlying principle why he did it, why he took incarnations. So what I say is failures face us more. And therefore, the Chetanas, what you call the individual souls, sentient objects always get what you call remorseful, sad. And therefore, so please read this Tattva Ratnavali Ragasyam, then you get encouraged. You, what you call, raise your hope in the heart. So மேல் அனுஷ்டுப்பில் இதன் சிறுமை கண்டு இகழாதே சீர்மையை கண்டு சிந்தாமல் கொள்ளச் சொல்கிறது. Now in the first verse, given in this particular Tattva Ratnavali Pratipadya Sangraha. Don't laugh at it. Don't scoff. SCOFF. Don't scoff. Don't scold your own inability to understand. Don't discourage yourselves by the ignorance that we possess a lot. Don't despise yourself. Don't lower yourself. Bhagavad Gita says, Atmanam Atmana Uddharet. Na Atmanam Avasadayet. Don't belittle yourself. Don't try to lower yourself that you will be not capable of understanding this. Let us encourage ourselves. Let us take heart to feel that one day we can achieve the understanding of these secrets. Shirmayi kandu shindamal kollachulum. Look at the greatness of these principles and do not what you call defer them. Don't postpone them for understanding. Don't scatter them. Don't scatter the greatness and say it is not possible for us. So try to what call avoid helplessness. That's what it says. Try to avoid helplessness. Helplessness always haunts us. HAUNTS. But take to your heart and feel happy in the sense that we can understand. Please show me the first page of this sign. No, this is not, 30, not 13, 12. First page. Oh, this has no Anushtup, doesn't have any two-line verse. Maybe it refers to Dvayam or Charma Shlokam. Take the Charma Shlokam, that should be Anushtup. Or maybe in the Tattva Ratnavali, last page of Tattva Ratnavali, right? After Ishvara. After the 30 points. Last page of Tattva Ratnavali. Oh, that Manataha. These the verse that is referred to. Manataha Samitatvepi Mahati Paramarthataha Tattaratnaviliyam Satbhirdarya Tamopaha. This is the verse referred to in what we call Anushtup. The word Anushtup in Tamil in the next Tattvaratnavali Pratipadya Sangraha. So we understand, so Tattvaratnavali is to be understood as great, Mahati. Paramarthata, it contains the most spiritual meaning. Then Manataha Sammitatvepi, though in size it is short, all good people, Sadbihi, Dharya, to remember, Tamopaha, which will dismiss our ignorance. So these are the two lines referred to as last page in Tattva Ratnavali Pratipadya Sangraha.
Ramanujadaya Patram Jnana Vairagya Srimad Venkatanathāryam Vande Vedanta Deshikam Kavitarkiya Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimade Venkatesaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Vadidhiva Shirobhanga Vanjanana Parakramaha Shriman Venkatanatharya Chiram Vijayatam Bhuvi Shirondra Thupul Tiruvenkatamudayan Paranda Chonna Padamudiyol Porundu Dane Yamayado Dharniyal Bhalvarku Anera Pomalavam Valvu
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ